वी नीड टू इंटीग्रेट इट विद दिस। ठीक है, तो बेसिकली ये हमारा एक प्लेज है। एक बारी पढ़ लेना, टोटल कितना स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी होना चाहिए बाय 2030, 1500 गीगावाट, एंड फॉर दैट विच हाउ मच ऑफ द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नीड्स टू बी क्रिएटेड, 25 मिलियन किलोमीटर्स ऑफ द infrastructure. Global energy storage and grids pledge. It means on a global scale, the energy storage investment in terms of infrastructure, it will be further expanded and modernized. Climate Analytics and New Climate Institute. Again, these are Germany based. So Germans, they are very much aware about the environment, about climate change, and they are even tracking the status of the world. The COP29, it was held in Baku, Azerbaijan, we all know. The important initiative here is the Global Alliance for Pumped Storage. This was also launched. Okay? The Global Alliance for Pumped Storage. Basically, objective is that countries should start developing and deploying more of the long-term energy storage solutions, which is in the form of pumped storage. तो उसके लिए whatever information they need, knowledge sharing platform and the best practices from any nation from which they can learn, so that all will be kind of facilitated through this forum which has been established, which is your Global Alliance. ठीक है, अब ये इनिशिएटिव किसका है? International Hydropower Association. Write a bit about this particular. Sometimes they ask extended questions. ठीक है, तो इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में लिख लीजिए. It was formed in the year 1995. It was formed in the year 1995 as a forum to promote and disseminate, good practices and knowledge about as a forum to promote and disseminate good practices and knowledge about sustainable hydropower. It was established under the auspices of UNESCO. हेडक्वार्टर्स कहाँ पे हैं? लंदन, यूके. हेडक्वार्टर्स लंदन, यूके. अब कैसा नेचर है वो लिख लीजिए. नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. द नेचर इज नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ठीक है, सो इफ यू नो दिस मच, you will be able to attempt any question which is asked regarding this organization. ठीक है, so this particular association has launched this alliance, and if you see, so far India is not a member of this. इतना याद रखना है. ठीक है, 14 governments as of now, they are member parties of this alliance. Pumped storage, we have discussed earlier also how it's working. I do not have to repeat ना. ठीक है. Next initiative, actually this is a road map. इससे पहले the Kunming Montreal Biodiversity Framework, जो कि 2022 में आया था, COP15 of the UNCBD. ठीक है, तो उस टाइम पे जो एक फ्रेमवर्क आया that how biodiversity should be preserved after 2020, post 2020. Now to meet those targets only, now further initiatives are being launched. Under that we have that the shipping sector, on voluntary basis, all the stakeholders regarding the shipping sector, whether they are the port developers or the shipping operators, the governments can be there, then there might be some financing institution, finance भी तो लेते ना वो किसी से. So all of these stakeholders, they will be together trying to collaborate, and they will try to bring down the negative effects of shipping sector on the biodiversity of oceans. That is largely what the mandate of this 2030 marine biodiversity and ocean health breakthrough and roadmap. roadmap होता है तो हमेशा क्या होता है? suggestions देते हैं वो. A framework, essentially it is providing a framework upon which these stakeholders should try to collaborate and implement the projects. ठीक है, तो उसके targets हैं कुछ, that negative impact of shipping industry on marine biodiversity should be reduced 30% by 2030. क्योंकि 30/30 टारगेट किसका है? नहीं, UNCBD कन्मिंग मॉन्ट्रियल प्रोटोकॉल. तो दिस इज इन कंसोनेंस विद दैट. याद रहेगा अभी, ठीक है. फर्दर दे विल स्टार्ट इनहेंसिंग इट 40%, 50% ऐसे. मेजर यहाँ से याद रखो ताकि आपको रिटेन करना इजी हो जाए, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज योर द ग्लोबल मैच मेकिंग प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर इंडस्ट्रियल डीकार्बनाइजेशन. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. इट हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड बाय क्लाइमेट क्लब. और ये जो क्लाइमेट क्लब है, दिस इज इनिशिएटिव ऑफ द G7 कंट्रीज विच हैव लॉन्च्ड इट. इट्स गिवन लेटर इन योर नोट्स. सेकेंड लास्ट पेज ओपन कर लीजिए, वहां पे क्लाइमेट क्लब के बारे में लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है. जस्ट मेक वन करेक्शन देयर, टाइपिंग एरर इज देयर. लॉन्च्ड इन 2022 की जगह 23 है वो. इट वॉज लॉन्च्ड इन 2023 बाय द G7 कंट्रीज ड्यूरिंग द UNFCCC COP28. ठीक है. This is intergovernmental initiative. It's written there. Intergovernmental है means governments will be participating in this and they will try to study the ways through which they can meet the goals of climate change by ensuring decarbonization of hard to abate industries. यानी कि जो हमारे इंडिया में अगर आप याद रखो तो रेड कैटेगरी इंडस्ट्रीज like very highly polluting and lot of fossil fuel is used there for the energy purpose and other purposes. जैसे सीमेंट इंडस्ट्री, आयरन एंड स्टील, एल्यूमिनियम, ठीक है. एल्यूमिनियम स्मेल्टिंग इंडस्ट्रीज देयर, फर्टिलाइजर इंडस्ट्री, देन द ऑयल रिफाइनरीज आर देयर. These are considered those sectors in which it's little challenging to ensure the decarbonization. So they need some sort of financial assistance also and technical aid also. Now that technical aid and finance will be provided to them. It will be secured for them through this climate club. ठीक है. और उसी के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को मीट करने के लिए ये प्लेटफॉर्म है हमारा ग्लोबल मैच मेकिंग प्लेटफॉर्म. ऑब्जेक्टिव सेम है ना दोनों का, ठीक है. सो इफ एनी इंडस्ट्री इट्स फाइंडिंग चैलेंज इन अडॉप्टिंग द सॉल्यूशंस, इट कैन प्लेस अ रिक्वेस्ट एंड ऑन दैट केस बाय केस बेसिस इट कैन गेट दैट असिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द एक्सपर्ट्स. ठीक है. नो, इंडिया इज नॉट अ मेंबर. इंडिया इज नॉट द मेंबर ऑफ द क्लाइमेट क्लब. ठीक है. Next is regarding that there was 10-year extension given to the Lima work program on gender. कुछ खास नहीं, इसका सिंपल सा मतलब है, this was just a framework which was agreed by the UNFCCC that they should also try to bring more gender inclusive climate policies and strategies, action plans, so that countries are able to ensure this. UNFCCC, it is promoting such kind of framework in the countries, and for that it has established this particular body which is studying all these, ki whether gender balance is there in the negotiations of UNFCCC. Are countries trying to incorporate that? So basically that is the agenda of your enhanced Lima framework. ठीक है. और इसमें बस पहला जेंडर एक्शन प्लान जो आया है अंडर द UNFCCC, that was during the COP23 which was in Bonn in Germany 2017 में. ये पॉइंट आप याद रख सकते हो, ठीक है. तो recently for another 10 years again they will try to further promote gender balance in climate policies. ठीक है. यही ऑब्जेक्टिव है. And during the COP29 with respect to Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, some of the rules they were finalized. The Paris rule book, which we say, with regard to how the carbon market will operate, how it will be institutionalized, that is what has been decided. The deadlocks which were there, that has been resolved. Actually देखिए इसमें ना 3 approaches हैं through which countries can meet their NDCs. ठीक है. The first 2 approaches, the Article 6.2 and the Article 6.4, and then you have Article 6.8. The first two, these are market based approaches, means carbon market. I gave you the notes the other day. There I have provided you in detail regarding all of this. In the 6.2, basically you just understand, if there are two countries and they are making effort to meet their NDCs, they can have mutual coordination, they can establish bilateral agreement, or there can be multilateral agreement also, so that they can trade in the carbon credit, but this is voluntary. ठीक है, तो ये कंट्री बाय कंट्री बेसिस पे होगा. दिस इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल ऑन द होल वर्ल्ड लेवल. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ कार्बन ट्रेडिंग, इट इज गिवन द नेम ITMOs, we say it, internationally traded mitigation outcomes. Internationally traded mitigation outcomes. Suppose India, it can have agreement, voluntary agreement with any other country, say Sweden के साथ, कि आप हमारे यहाँ कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट लगाइए रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी का, एंड यू कैन अर्न द क्रेडिट्स एंड हेल्प अस इन आवर डीकार्बनाइजेशन. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द सॉर्ट ऑफ मैकेनिज्म. ठीक है, बट what is the replacement, perfect replacement of the CDM? Now both developed and developing countries, now on a centralized basis under the aegis of the UNFCCC itself, there is a body which has been established, which we say is subsidiary body. So this subsidiary body was given the responsibility that it has to institutionalize and operationalize, set the standards, look into all the aspects of the registration of the carbon credits which are taking place on international level between the developed and the developing countries. ठीक है, कोई भी आपस में एक सेंट्रलाइज्ड प्लेटफॉर्म पे पूरे वर्ल्ड लेवल पे ये एप्लीकेबल है. एंड दिस इज योर रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ द CDM विच वॉज अर्लियर देयर अंडर क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल. ठीक है, सो रिसेंट अग्रीमेंट हुआ था ये, दैट some countries they were earlier not in agreement with if the projects which qualified under the CDM after 2012, whether they should be registered here when this mechanism is set up or not. Agreement is so far, final verdict is that those projects, if they have been verified, countries can issue, they can get their they can earn the carbon credits for those projects also. ठीक है, and further all the countries, if they are trading in carbon among themselves, even then they have to maintain national registry, and at the international level this registry will be maintained by subsidiary body. ठीक है, ये board maintain करेगा, and there will be interoperability, digitally they should be linked. So and apart from that, it said that it should be public data so that there is more transparency. ठीक है, ये अग्रीमेंट हुआ है विद रिगार्ड टू अकाउंटेबिलिटी एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी. इज इट क्लियर? एंड द थर्ड वन इज यूजिंग द नॉन मार्केट बेस्ड अप्रोच. नॉन मार्केट बेस्ड अप्रोच का मतलब है दैट इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्रेडिंग इन द कार्बन, वी कैन फर्दर यूज द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ कार्बन टैक्स. इकोनॉमी में हम पिगोवियन टैक्स पढ़ते हैं ना. व्हाट इज इट? द टैक्स ऑन द नेगेटिव एक्सटर्नलिटी. So here the carbon emissions, they are sort of negative externality as the outcome of development which is taking place. So that we encourage the industries to decarbonize, we can impose penalty on them in the form of carbon tax. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे कौन से mechanisms यूज कर सकते हैं? For example, carbon tax. Apart from that, investment in capacity building. ठीक है, capacity building, and then technology transfer, the technology transfer, these all qualify as the non-market based approach to achieve the targets of the country's NDCs, so that they stick to the goal of Paris Agreement. They adhere to that. Is it clear? Sort of वैसा है, but ये country, ये within the country है. Now this is that every country within their jurisdiction, or in fact the state governments also, local governments also, they can be empowered to impose such taxes depending upon what kind of political structure they are following. जैसे इंडिया में है, हमारे यहाँ पे एक स्ट्रिक्ट शेड्यूल्स है ना, दैट लिस्ट हैं सेंट्रल लिस्ट है, फिर यूनियन ये हमारा स्टेट लिस्ट है, कंकरेंट लिस्ट है. अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट एवरी कंट्री इज हैविंग देयर ओन, यानी कि कंट्री बाय कंट्री बेसिस, सब नेशनल बेसिस पे वी कैन रिजॉर्ट टू दीज मेजर्स. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये ब्रॉडली लार्जर है, इट्स गोइंग बियॉन्ड द कंट्री. इज इट क्लियर? तो ये क्लियर हो गया व्हाट इज, अब तो नहीं भूलोगे व्हाट इज आर्टिकल 6. ठीक है, एंड फर्दर देयर वाज दिस one important agreement that if two countries are trading in carbon, only one out of them will be allowed to claim that the carbon credit after they have done the trade. पहले क्या करते थे, दोनों दिखा देते थे कि जिसने बेचा है वो भी एडजस्ट कर रहा है, एडजस्ट नहीं कर रहा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो इंक्लूडिंग इन द कार्बन क्रेडिट अर्न, एंड द वन who was buying it, that was also showing. So it was sort of under reporting and over reporting of their NDCs. Real picture, we did not get the proper idea about that. So that we prevent the problem of double counting, we are having this mechanism of corresponding adjustment. ठीक है, is it clear? So these are basically what the rules were agreed, and by 2026 this subsidiary body, it is positive that it will be able to finally institutionalize and start the operation of this carbon market on global scale. ठीक है, तो अभी देखते हैं 26 तक, तब तक और भी इश्यूज आ जाएंगे because still there are large number of gray areas, we'll study that later. ठीक है, प्री के लिए इतना काफ़ी है. Then next is the 3 pledges were declared during this. Whenever pledge is there, it is voluntary. जब भी pledge होता है, understand, confuse नहीं होना, legally binding नहीं होता. ठीक है, it will be voluntary in nature. It is sort of voluntary commitment by the countries. So here 3 pledges were there, that global energy storage and grids pledge. It means on a global scale, the energy storage investment, in terms of infrastructure, it will be further expanded and modernized. ठीक है, तो ये टारगेट है इसके अंदर, that by 2030 it has to ensure 6-fold increase in the storage capacity of energy storage solutions. जैसे कि pumped storage है, वो भी एक solution है for energy storage. Batteries, the lithium ion batteries. So any kind of energy storage solution which can solve the problem of grid instability because of renewable energy alone operating, we need to integrate it with this. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली ये हमारा एक प्लेज है. एक बारी पढ़ लेना, टोटल कितना स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी होना चाहिए बाय 2030, 1500 गीगावाट, एंड फॉर दैट विच how much of the infrastructure needs to be created, 25 million kilometers of the infrastructure. ठीक है, इतना याद रखो, काफ़ी है. 65 मिलियन एडिशनल है उसके बाद. वंस यू अचीव दिस मच, अगेन एम फॉर अनदर 65. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट इज योर हाइड्रोजन डिक्लेरेशन. बाय द नेम इट्स क्लियर, लेकिन ये हाइड्रोजन डिक्लेरेशन COP28 में आ गया था. हियर बेसिकली इट हैज रीइटरेटेड, मीन्स it has only restated the emphasis on further giving the thrust to green hydrogen and clean hydrogen technologies. ठीक है, further we have your green energy zones and corridors. green corridor एक बार UPSC ने पूछा है, at that time we had this project with Germany ongoing. तो simply concept समझते हैं. green energy zone का simple सा मतलब है, there might be some area, some country which is more capable or it is having more ready kind of ecosystem and more potential in terms of renewable energy capacity generation. तो वहाँ से अगर ऐसे zones को identify किया जाए, suppose area A, it is abundant in terms of solar or wind, and further also it is having good potential. So this can be developed as a green zone. And from this, if we are ensuring the transfer of surplus power, renewable energy power, to the region which requires it, which is not capable of the production, deficit है. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे ये जो कनेक्टिविटी हम इंश्योर कर रहे हैं, दिस इज कॉल्ड ग्रीन कॉरिडोर. समझ गए? तो वो जो इतना टेक्निकलिटी में लिखा है वो बेसिकली यही है, ठीक है। इज इट क्लियर? नेक्स्ट, सो दीज वर 3 pledges. कम ही पूछता है pledges, still we should have idea. Next is the initiative of UNDP, which is the climate promise. Climate promise का मतलब पता क्या है? Simple, that UNDP is giving assurance to the developing countries that for your resource capacity augmentation, for helping you in achieving your NDCs, we are ready to provide you every kind of service which you need. So if you need any kind of information, any kind of technical know-how which you do not have, and suppose you need any technology to be transferred from some particular country, so we can negotiate, we can act as that bridge so that that technology can be transferred to you. That finance which you need, we will try to make it available to you. समझ में आया? तो एक तरीके से फैसिलिटेटर का काम है. Understood? That is what your climate promise, the initiative of UNDP is about. For the first time, it was launched in 2019, and most recently it has declared its renewed intent to further augment its efforts to help the developing countries. ठीक है? अब याद हो जाएगा ये? ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Again, this is initiative of the UN only. Since environmental education is also important, regarding we need it for awareness also, so that our common citizens also they start becoming part of climate action. Further, if the status of green education is good in the universities, in the schools, we will be able to have more aware and you can say more knowledgeable experts, so that our policies can be further improved. With all these kind of mandates, with all these purposes in the mind, the UNESCO, it came up with its initiative of the Greening Education Partnership. So this is again multi-stakeholder type. Facilitator यानी कि originator UNESCO होगा, ठीक है, and here different kind of multi-stakeholders like civil society organizations, private sector, governments, ठीक है, they all can collaborate and they can try to implement such kind of projects. ठीक है, तो ये है हमारा ग्रीन इन एजुकेशन पार्टनरशिप. एंड इफ इम्प्लीमेंटिंग दोज फंड, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए इफ दे डू नॉट हैव सफिशिएंट फंड्स, इन दैट केस दे विल गेट द असिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द मल्टी पार्टनरशिप ट्रस्ट फंड. ठीक है, सो दिस इज अबाउट योर ग्रीनिंग एजुकेशन पार्टनरशिप एंड इट्स एसोसिएटेड फंडिंग मैकेनिज्म. Next, 10th anniversary of the Climate Technology Center and Network. It was observed in the year 2024. इसका भी similar mandate है, बस फर्क क्या है that host is UNEP now, United Nations Environment Program. This is going to be the facilitator for the technological studies in terms of climate change adaptation, mitigation, and if countries need any kind of information or hand holding support for that, it will be kind of facilitated through UNEP. ठीक है, बस याद रखो कि किसका इनिशिएटिव है, वहाँ पे ही कंफ्यूजन करेगा, वही पूछता भी है, एक ही स्टेटमेंट का क्वेश्चन आता ही. पर्पस याद रखो, 2 things you need to remember: the purpose, who has launched it, and if it is a 2 statement kind of question, they can ask you when it was launched. तो कब लॉन्च हुआ है वो भी याद रखो थोड़ा सा. ठीक है, it was part of UN technology mechanism which was established in 2010. Is it clear? Next, about the methane emission abatement, some of the institutions which are important. इसके रिगार्डिंग ना एक ये आर्टिकल है जो आया था, The Cane, Oil and Gas joins the UN's Methane Reduction Initiative. ये इसके पहले है, थोड़ा सा वो मिसप्लेस हो गया है. एक्चुअली दिस इज द फर्स्ट ऑयल एंड गैस कंपनी फ्रॉम इंडिया, मीन्स फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इंडियन बेस्ड कंपनी इज गोइंग टू डिक्लेयर इट्स कमिटमेंट टूवर्ड्स रिड्यूसिंग द कार्बन एमिशंस फ्रॉम इट्स ऑयल एंड गैस इंडस्ट्री. ठीक है, और इस टाइप का जब भी कुछ फर्स्ट इन इंडिया टाइप का इनिशिएटिव होता है, एंड प्राइमरीली इफ इट इज लिंक्ड विद द यूएन, sort of it's asked in the exam. ठीक है. So with that in mind, we should know about the partnership which it has joined, that is your oil and gas methane partnership. As of now we are having the second phase, but in the largely what it is about, oil and gas companies, the private sector, they will be given this mandate that they should make all the efforts to reduce their methane and carbon dioxide emissions by taking all the adequate measures which are required. And for that they are given target that by 2030 or so they have to ensure zero flaring. अब zero flaring ये important है. What is the zero flaring? Now whatever waste gas is produced, ठीक है, तो उसको ना वो burn कर देते हैं, and that as a result what is happening, further it is increasing the carbon footprint of these industries. So the UNEP and CCAC, the Climate and Clean Air Coalition along with UNEP, which are partners in launching this initiative, this partnership, they are promoting these industries not to resort to such kind of practices and rather ensure that instead if they are resorting to flaring practice, then the carbon it should be captured. यानी कि CCUS टेक्नोलॉजी को लगा के रखो और find the solutions, alternative solutions. ठीक है, तो ये एक voluntary initiative है for the companies, they can join it and then they have to adhere to the mandate which is given here. ठीक है. Now 2.0 में क्या करा है, it is made more ambitious in how that scope and the compliance mechanism, it has been made more tighter. Sort of the oil and gas companies which are becoming partner of this particular partnership, they have to give accurate data regarding their emissions and it should be publicly here, it should be available there, and apart from that there will be verification process also. Sort of that is what the 2.0 is about, more stricter compliance. ठीक है, more transparent, more stricter. ठीक है. Next, some of the initiatives, और अभी तक ये पूछे नहीं है तो हम रिवाइज कर लेते हैं. Majorly these are initiatives of the United Nations. And methane emissions are rising also. The Global Methane Pledge. Now these are all different initiatives. The Global Methane Pledge की अगर बात करें, when we had this Glasgow conference of the UNFCCC, COP26 ongoing, there some countries, around 100 countries, they had voluntarily declared that they will try to bring down the emissions of methane from their countries. ठीक है. And however you have to note that India has not endorsed it because as of now our agriculture and allied sector is not prepared. We need time, and although we are the third largest emitter of methane, but this is irony, we haven't joined it. ठीक है. ठीक है, तो इसका टारगेट क्या है, 30% रिडक्शन इन मीथेन फ्रॉम द 2020 लेवल्स बाय द ईयर 2030. ये इसका मैंडेट, इसका टारगेट है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, द ऑयल एंड डीकार्बनाइजेशन चार्टर. जब भी चार्टर होता है, सिटीजन चार्टर क्या होता है, सॉर्ट ऑफ गाइडलाइंस आर देयर, है ना. सो वेन एवर चार्टर इज देयर, दिस विल बी अ काइंड ऑफ गाइडलाइंस विच आर इशूड. नाउ दीज गाइडलाइंस, oil and gas decarbonization guidelines, these are issued for oil and gas sector companies, the private sector which is there in oil and gas sector. ठीक है. And from both public and private sector which is there in this, they can be part of this. This initiative was launched in COP28, and from India also we have one of the PSUs which is part of this. ठीक है. तो इंडिया भी पार्ट है. अगर आपसे पूछा जाए इंडिया पार्ट है या नहीं है, तो है. ठीक है. इज इट क्लियर. इसका भी टारगेट वही है, जीरो रूटीन फ्लेयरिंग होना चाहिए बिकॉज दे आर इंटरलिंक्ड, मैंडेट तो सेम ही होगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज योर इंटरनेशनल मीथेन एमिशंस ऑब्जर्वेटरी. ऑब्जर्वेटरी का काम क्या होता है, टू ट्रैक द सोर्सेज, द स्टडी द ट्रेंड्स, ठीक है, एंड पब्लिश इट्स फाइंडिंग्स सो दैट more awareness is generated in that. ठीक है. So this particular methane emission observatory, it is the इनिशिएटिव ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशंस एमिशंस प्रोग्राम, UNEP का इनिशिएटिव है, इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब इसमें वो क्या करते हैं, दे हैव देयर ओन सैटेलाइट based mechanism also through which they are tracking the sources of methane. Apart from that, the earlier initiatives which we studied, the oil and gas decarbonization partnership, वो भी तो वहाँ पे industries are voluntarily they have to furnish the information regarding methane emissions. Now these both, the satellite data and the data which is given by the industries, it will be combined. Thereafter it will be sort of published for more transparency with regard to the emissions of methane. तो एक तरीके से एक indirect pressure exert करता है that see where you are standing and you need to act, moral obligation for the countries. समझ आ गया ये? ठीक है, जो पहले पढ़ा है उसको कंबाइन करो, फिर आपका तीसरा इनिशिएटिव कवर हो जाएगा. इज इट क्लियर? और इसको कब लॉन्च किया गया था? इन 2021. ओके. Next is about the Climate Action Performance Index. Now here India is so far doing well if you see. Although overall green rank से हम पहले के comparison में नीचे चले गए हैं, but still India is among the top 10 countries, the 10th. But if you see the first 3 ranks, nobody has been able to secure these. और ये पहले भी ऐसा ही रहा है ट्रेंड इसमें, इस रिपोर्ट में. And Denmark, like always, it has been the top scorer. ठीक है. So what we need to remember is the rank of India and whose initiative, who gives out this index. So who publishes? किसका initiative है ये? ये बहुत बारी आता है. Two Germany-based NGOs are there. Together they collaborate and they bring out this index of the countries. They study the condition of 39 countries along with the EU, and accordingly they bring out this index since 2005. So what are these institutions? The German Watch, New Climate Institute and the Climate Action Network. All three, these are actually NGOs. तीनों के तीनों NGOs हैं and all three are having their base in Germany. They are all Germany based. ठीक है? Is it clear? So what they study overall, what are the parameters? The greenhouse gas emissions, how much share of renewable energy is there, what is the condition of the energy use, यानी कि coal dominate कर रहा है या कुछ और है, ठीक है, and the climate policies, if they are stricter or improved as compared to earlier. Studying all these 4 verticals, they bring out this index. Is it clear? Next, Climate Finance Action Fund. Now here, climate finance sort of it will be pooled. पहले आप इसका mandate समझ लीजिए. It will be pooled by those countries which are fossil fuel producing, यानी कि जैसे OPEC countries है, ठीक है. So those fossil fuel producing countries, they are who will become member of this fund, they will have the obligation to contribute some amount towards this fund so that they can give assistance to the developing countries so that they can meet their adaptation and mitigation targets. ठीक है, तो एक additional initiative है. This is the initiative coming from those countries which are fossil fuel producing. ठीक है, and it was recently launched during the UN COP29. ठीक है, is it clear? Next, the greenhouse gas bulletin. ये हमने पहले भी किया है ना. WMO का initiative है since 2004. It's bringing out the situation with regard to emissions of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. और जो findings मैंने दी हैं, remember that if you want to use, you can use for value addition in your mains later. ठीक है, तो एक जगह पे डेटा है आपके पास, वैसा ही डेटा यूज करने को रहता है हमारा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव these two. Particularly try to remember the situation of carbon dioxide, that if you compare from the pre-industrial levels starting from the 1800s, so far 151% rise has been recorded in terms of CO2 concentration. ठीक है, and the world because of that its experiencing temperature which is risen by 1.1 degree Celsius already compared to what temperature existed at that time. ठीक है? So these kind of findings you can use for value addition, but for prelims perspective we need to ensure we are prepared with who brings out this particular bulletin. So that is the mandate, the work of World Meteorological Organization and as part of its Global Atmosphere Watch. ये खाली आपको ये भी पूछ सकते हैं कि ये किसका प्रोग्राम है, ग्लोबल एटमॉस्फेयर वॉच. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट द क्लाइमेट एक्शन ट्रैकर, ये ऑलरेडी पूछा हुआ है, यूपीएससी आस्क्ड दिस. क्लाइमेट एक्शन just understand the NDCs which countries have declared. Now how ambitious they have been and how much progress countries have made, that all will be assessed by some institutions, the NGOs, Climate Analytics and New Climate Institute. Again these are Germany based. So Germans, they are very much aware about the environment, about climate change, and they are even tracking the status of the world. So we can appreciate them for that. ठीक है. So since 2009 they are bringing out their findings in the form of climate action tracker. ठीक है. जब भी UN COP होता है तो उससे पहले they try to bring out their findings. Next is your mission efficiency. Mission efficiency की अगर बात करें, try to remember how much percentage of, पहली चीज किससे concerned है, energy efficiency improvement. How much improvement? Every year 3%. Every year it intends that globally there should be 3% improvement in the energy efficiency. इसलिए इसको जब फॉर्म किया गया था it was given the name 3% club. ठीक है, 3% club बोलते थे. And when it was launched 2019 Climate Action Summit which was held in New York, at that time it was launched. Later its name was changed to Mission Efficiency in the year 2022 at the Sustainable Energy for All Forum which was there in Kigali. ठीक है. अब याद रहेगा, ये सिर्फ 2 ही फैक्ट्स आपको याद रखने, कब फॉर्म हुआ है या कब इसका नाम चेंज हुआ है. नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द ग्लोबल कूलिंग प्लेज. नाउ सिंस द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ अर्बन हीट आइलैंड इज इंक्रीजिंग, अर्बन हीट आइलैंड इफेक्ट, द टेम्परेचर्स आर राइजिंग, सो the emphasis is on finding out such solutions that we can have naturally the cooling conditions. For that, जैसे हमने पहले पढ़ा था, alternatives of the HFCs in the refrigeration, rather we should move towards HFOs or the natural refrigerants. Natural refrigerants याद हैं? हमने पढ़े थे. CO2, अमोनिया, प्रोपेन. ठीक है, तो वो सब याद रखना है. ठीक है. So those means whatever solutions we have studied, those all will be incorporated. The countries are being they are nudged by the global organizations like UNEP. So for that they have this particular pledge for the countries. This was launched by UAE at the UN COP 28. So for this pledge, Secretariat service is given by UNEP. They are having collective targets that overall throughout the world we should be able to ensure by the year 2050 global cooling related emissions go down by 68%. 68% decline in cooling related emissions. And for that क्या करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए? ACs देख रहे हो, इनको और एनर्जी एफिशिएंट बनाओ. ठीक है. We have to increase, scale up the average efficiency of the new ACs which are being manufactured. How much? 50% increase करो, so that they use less of the energy. कम एनर्जी यूज करेंगे, कम कोयला बर्न होगा या फिर whatever source is being used for electricity generation. As a result, it will help in bringing down overall CO2 gases also, greenhouse gases. ठीक है. Is it clear? If we see the membership, Indian government is not the member so far, but there is our one more entity of the government, the non-state actor, the TERI Institute. This is a member of the Global Cooling Pledge. ठीक है. So it is studying what kind of technologies can be suitable for the climate of India, and according to that it gives recommendations, brings out those publications also. And since TERI is involved in the R&D also, so it is actively participating. ठीक है. इंडिया का अपना एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेज है. वी ऑलरेडी हैव आवर ओन इंडिया क्लाइमेट एक्शन प्लान. In fact, India was the first country to bring out its own climate action plan in terms of cooling action plan. ठीक है. So this in particular we have stated some objectives, some targets. What are the targets? Cooling related demand को हमें कम करना है. How much? लगभग 1/4. इतना याद रखिए. Around 1/4%. The 1/4 of what is at present the cooling demand that should be reduced by the year. गोल ईयर याद रखो, यहाँ पे साइड में लिख लेना. व्हाट इज द टारगेटेड ईयर? 2037-38. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट यू रिमेंबर दीज. ग्लोबल डिमांड 25% तक कम करनी है ओवरऑल. फॉर दैट रेफ्रिजरेंट डिमांड शुड गो डाउन 30% तक अप्रोक्सीमेटली. एंड ग्लोबल एनर्जी द एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट इट शुड बी, क्योंकि जब हम इस पे काम करेंगे तो ये सारे इंटरलिंक हैं. ठीक है. So these are the targets, and we have to focus on capacity building of technicians also. For that we have training and certification related target also. ठीक है. So this next one extract from the Hindu again regarding the district cooling system. What you have to remember is in India, which is the first district where or which state has so far been successful in bringing out its district level cooling system. So that is your gift city of Gujarat. What happens basically in the district cooling system? ऐसे मान के चलिए. How many of you have studied about the CBD structure in urban planning? पढ़ा है? किसी का ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल था? Anyways, no problem. For example, this is whole city. ठीक है. And there is one particular center which will be one particular plant, centralized plant for the whole city. This is going to supply the chilled water. Chilled water will be supplied so that buildings can cool. यहाँ पे produce करेंगे chill water को. After that they are going to connect it to different buildings. It will be connected through underground pipes. And to different buildings it's going to supply the chilled water so that natural cooling हो सके. Passive cooling का ही एक method है ये. ठीक है. So that eventually we do not use much of the ACs, the centralized AC. ज़्यादातर buildings में आजकल वही चलता है. Even then it is using lots of energy and lot of greenhouse gases are emitted because largely still we are using HFC. और HFC क्या है? Greenhouse gas है. It is not ozone depleting. It is greenhouse gas and it was the substitute of HCFC, which was earlier stated to be eliminated as per the commitment of Montreal Protocol. ठीक है. तो उसका replacement आया HFC में, but still we are using it so that we stop using the greenhouse gases. We need to ensure we have other methods for cooling. So on a district level, this setup will be established and for the first time it's being experimented. It's being set up in Gujarat. ठीक है. तो आप इसके बारे में ये पढ़ सकते हो एक बार. उससे रिलेटेड ही अदर इनिशिएटिव्स which were there in news. हाँ जी. हाँ, that particular district government they will look into that. District administration will look into its implementation. अच्छा. वो रूम कूलिंग के लिए यूज होता था. कोई पाइप आती थी हर एक रूम से निकलता था. और बड़ा सा रेफ्रिजरेटर मतलब कूलिंग सिस्टम टाइप का रहता था. उसमें बहुत तेज हवा जाती थी, पूरा रूम ठंडा करके. राजस्थान में ये है. Even using the pottery also, they developed this structure. Using the pots, they have developed kind of a filtering mechanism. And it's beautiful how they try to incorporate it in the future. That is challenging. बड़ी industries नहीं कर पाती वैसे. तोड़ फोड़ maintenance सौ झंझट होते हैं. Anyways, let's come back. Wilmington Declaration. Now this is also important. अगर पूछा जाए किससे related है, एक जगह पे याद रखो. Again, it is related to your cooling only. ठीक है. And this is commitment by the Quad nations, the Quad countries, Quad group. which was declared in the year 2024 itself, that these countries are going to start developing more sustainable energy solutions, particularly focusing on high energy efficient cooling systems. ठीक है, एक लाइन में आपको दिया है ताकि याद हो जाए आपको ये. Next, Kigali Amendment we have revised many times. It's just repetition. And India has ratified this. अच्छा, Kigali Amendment please याद रखिए when it was adopted and when it was enforced. Adoption कब हुई थी? 2016. And when it was enforced, सही बता रही हूँ ना मैं? हाँ, नहीं, in October 2016 it was adopted. It was adopted in October 2016 and it was implemented in the year 2019 January 2019 में it came into effect. And India has ratified it in 2021. ठीक है, हाँ वो डिफरेंट बेस टारगेट्स हैं हमारे. So overall target of India is that we have to reduce HFCs by 85% by the year 2047. Accordingly, developed and developing countries, they are having different deadlines according to which they will try to achieve these targets. ठीक है. Next is your HCFC initiative. HCFC initiative. Now this is your sort of knowledge sharing and policy tool, which will be implemented by the Climate and Clean Air Coalition. Climate and Clean Air Coalition का focus किस पे रहता है? Short lived climate pollutants को कम करने में. There we studied about super pollutants. Since HFC is a super pollutant, so all the kind of information about HFC and the ways through which we can bring it down. So all those practices will be advocated. They will be disseminated through the HFC initiative of CCS. Policy related advice. What are the technological solutions? Means if you need any kind of assistance, any kind of guidelines, then publicly it is furnishing that kind of information here. Even आप भी खोलोगे आपको मिल जाएगा. I tried this. Anyways, next is one important declaration. Earlier UPSC has asked from the emissions of construction industry. इसीलिए हम एक बारी पढ़ लेते हैं इसके बारे में. The Chaliot Declaration. If we ask you about this declaration, ये हमारे buildings और construction sector के emissions को कम करने के लिए है. Which sector? The building sector. ठीक है? And it was endorsed in March 2024 at the Buildings and Climate Forum, which was organized by UNEP. The UNEP hosted body is there, Global ABC. ठीक है? And under this declaration, they have established one new body for the coordination in this regard, which is Intergovernmental Council for Buildings and Climate. ठीक है? इसके बारे में मैंने बाद में भी आपको एक समरी करके दिया है, उसको पढ़ लेना आप. रिगार्डिंग योर ग्लोबल अलायंस फॉर द ग्लोबल ABC, जिसको बोलते हैं ग्लोबल ABC का काम है कंस्ट्रक्शन सेक्टर से रिलेटेड. एमिशंस द कार्बन फुटप्रिंट ऑफ बिल्डिंग सेक्टर टू बी रिड्यूस्ड. इट इज फ्रांस लेड इनिशिएटिव, कोलैबोरेटिव प्लेटफॉर्म विच वॉज फाउंडेड ड्यूरिंग द UN COP21. पेरिस जब क्लाइमेट डील हुई थी, at that same time this significant initiative under the aegis of UNEP. ये किसके, ऐसे क्वेश्चन ही पूछते हैं, अंडर किसके एजेस में स्टार्ट हुआ था? तो ये किसका है? UNEP का ही है. Within that we have this council established. ठीक है? Next, which question they have asked, that was about the common carbon metric. Sort of standards for the building sector. These are given by the UNEP, and based upon that the status of the building sector from various countries is assessed. So that is simply your common carbon metric. ठीक है? किसका इनिशिएटिव है? अगेन UNEP. अब यहाँ पे जितने भी इनिशिएटिव्स हमने स्टडी किए हैं रिगार्डिंग the yes, regarding the emissions from building sector, that was again the initiative of UNEP. याद रहेगा, ठीक है. Global Fund for Coral Reefs. Global Fund for Coral Reefs. Now, coral bleaching and the death of the corals. It is a big problem because 25% of the world's diversity is there itself. They are called rainforests of the sea. That is why we need to take care of their survival, to ensure their protection, and for that, whatever measures, whatever projects are to be implemented by the governments or the private sector or civil society, they need financing. So that financing will be provided through this Global Fund for Coral Reefs. ठीक है. और इसको कब लॉन्च किया गया था? ड्यूरिंग द UNGA 75 मीटिंग इन सितंबर 2020. ठीक है. इज इट क्लियर? मेंबरशिप वाइड स्टेक होल्डर बेस्ड, जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया. एनीबडी हु इज कंसर्न्ड विद द वेलफेयर ऑफ द कोरल्स, द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द कोरल्स, they can get financial aid and they can participate in this. UN का एक ग्रांट फंड है इसके अंदर. It means UN is galvanizing the financial support for implementation of such projects by giving the grants and concessional loans to the countries if they need. ठीक है. उसके अलावा एक प्राइवेट वर्टिकल है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर. they can also they can pool their resources and they can extend the funding. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज योर इम्पॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव इंटरनेशनल कोरल रीफ इनिशिएटिव. इसका इंडिया भी पार्ट है. ठीक है. और ये इनिशिएटिव हमारा जो है कब इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था? इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1994. 1994 में. ऑब्जेक्टिव क्लियर है आपका, यहाँ से आप समझ सकते हो. ठीक है. नाउ हियर ऑल्सो, जैसे वो मल्टी स्टेक होल्डर है, दिस इज ऑल्सो मल्टी स्टेक होल्डर इन अप्रोच. सो इट इज नॉट इंटर गवर्नमेंटल. Governments along with the other stakeholders who are concerned, interested in the conservation of corals, they all will be working together under this initiative. ठीक है. Now these both ICRI and the Global Fund for Coral Reefs, these both are partners of one more initiative जो कि 2023 में लॉन्च किया गया था. तो यहाँ पे लिख लो, द 2023 में these both together they have come and they have become the partners of Coral Reef Breakthrough. Coral Reef Breakthrough. Coral Reef Breakthrough. ठीक है. Target, they have this particular target where the target is to restore, to secure at least 1,25,000 square kilometers, to secure at least 1,25,000 square kilometers of coral reefs by 2030. अब ये जितने भी इनिशिएटिव्स हैं ना, फर्स्ट दे विल ट्राई टू स्टडी व्हाट आर द थ्रेट्स एंड हाउ वी कैन ओवरकम देम, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट इज नीडेड. नाउ वेयर द फंडिंग विल कम फ्रॉम. फंडिंग जब भी बात आएगी तो वो हमारा जो हमने पहले फंड पढ़ा है वहाँ से फंडिंग एक्सेस करेंगे. ठीक है. इज इट क्लियर? दीज ऑल आर इंटरलिंक्ड. नेक्स्ट इज योर World Association of the Zoo and Aquariums. This was in focus because recently the membership of zoo from Delhi that was cancelled. एक एलिफेंट का वेलफेयर, इट्स दैट यू आर नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट, यू आर कीपिंग इट चेन्ड. ठीक है. तो दिल्ली जू की मेंबरशिप सस्पेंड की है इसने. ऑल्दो रिमेंबर दिस, इट इज दिस जू एसोसिएशन, दिस इज नॉट इंटर गवर्नमेंटल, रादर इट इज अ नॉन गवर्नमेंटल टाइप ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. हाँ, ये NGO है, बट स्टिल इट इज हैविंग दैट अथॉरिटी to accredit the zoos of the world, set the standards for them, look into the management of the zoos and even cancel the membership of the zoos if they cannot maintain those standards. ठीक है. Yes, वो तो हर बॉडी टाइम टू टाइम जब भी नीडेड है इट विल डू दैट. ठीक है. तो इसका याद रखना है, इट इज़ NGO. कहाँ पे हेडक्वार्टर्स हैं? Barcelona in Spain, and it was established in 1935. ठीक है, is it clear? Zoos के अलावा it will also give the accreditation and look into management of aquariums. ठीक है, is it clear? Next is similar body from India is there, but this is a statutory body in India for the regulation of the zoos and looking into the standards, setting standards for them. That is the mandate, the purpose of Central Zoo Authority, which was established in 1992 under the Wildlife Protection Act. ठीक है, is it clear? So अगर इसका chairperson देखा जाए, the chairperson is also the Union Environment Minister. Chairperson will be Union Environment Minister for this body. Suppose we need to transfer one animal to the other zoo, and if that animal is under the purview of Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act, it is mandatory for you to get the permission from this authority, and after that ensuring the welfare, so that उसको transport करते हुए कोई problem नहीं होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, उसकी हेल्थ का भी ख्याल रखना है, जैसे ह्यूमंस की हेल्थ का रखते हो. ठीक है, तो वो सारा मैंडेट सेंट्रल जू अथॉरिटी का है. इज इट क्लियर? याद रहेगा. नेक्स्ट, द NTCA, नेशनल टाइगर कंजर्वेशन अथॉरिटी. ये आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग यू ऑल नो सफिशिएंट अबाउट दिस. आगे बढ़े. नहीं समझ में आया तो आप मुझसे पूछिएगा. नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द क्रिटिकल टाइगर हैबिटेट एंड क्रिटिकल वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट. हाँ पूछा है अभी भी, अगेन इट वॉज इन फोकस. रिवाइज बेसिकली आई हैव लिस्टेड. जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द कोर डिफरेंसेस. टाइगर हैबिटेट जहाँ भी बोलते हैं ना, यहाँ पे सिंस टाइगर रिजर्व्स दे आर लीगली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड अंडर वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट. So the core area, the core of your tiger reserve, which can be national park or wildlife sanctuary, that will be declared to be completely free of human intervention, inviolable जिसको बोलते हैं. So that concept, this core of the tiger reserve, this is called critical tiger habitat. And for declaring this, now who will be authorized to declare this particular zone as the critical tiger habitat? That is the mandate of state government. But before that, if any community is living here in the forest and in tribal community, their consent has to be sought, and unka voluntary consent, they cannot be forced to move out. Rather we need to only persuade them, ensure that we have proper consultation and ensure proper rehabilitation facility for them. Only after that we will ask them to move out. ठीक है, is it clear? अब इसी का identical there is another sort of framework which is your critical wildlife habitat. Critical wildlife habitat जो है ये नेशनल पार्क या फिर वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी के अंदर. नाउ इफ यू सी बाय लॉजिक ऑल्सो, टाइगर हैबिटेट का जो कोर है वो अपने आप में क्या था? नेशनल पार्क और वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी. नाउ विद इन एनी स्पेसिफिक wildlife sanctuary or national park, if we need to declare some area which is completely disturbance free, so that will be your critical wildlife habitat. It can be declared under provisions of FRA, Forest Rights Act. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे भी since many tribal communities or local traditional forest dwellers may be there, again provision is same. Expert committee बिठाओ, उसके बाद उनसे consult करो, and only then after securing their consent, ensuring proper rehabilitation, compensation, after that it can be declared. And now here the difference is, it's not the state government that will be declaring, it's the ambit of your Ministry of Environment and Forest to declare it. This is also the difference between the two. ठीक है.